welcome back. It's been a while. If you're new here, hello, my name's Lucy, and if you do seem to like it here, I hope you stick around. You can subscribe to be up to date with all my latest videos below. And yeah, so I've been away for a while, just trying to get back into the swing of uni. I've bought a new camera for my filming, so having to get my head around that. But I'm back and I'm hoping to be uploading more frequently now. Yeah, I wanted to kind of get back into it in a nice, easy way. I wanted to be filming like a little question and answer session so you guys could get to know me a little bit better. But then the football happened at the weekend, and since the football's back, and we all know I am a sucker for a bit of sports news, I thought we'd cover a sports topic. So just before I went away for a little bit, I filmed a video with a lovely lady named Hannah about the pay difference in men and women's football, and it was received really, really well. You guys seemed to love it, which made my day because I really enjoyed filming that. It was something I was passionate about, something I enjoyed talking about, and honestly, you guys loved it. I've had so many messages about it, and so I thought we'd do a few more sports videos since sporting events is what I want to get into. It makes more sense. So at the weekend, Manchester City played Arsenal, and as we all know, I'm a huge City fan. But there was a lovely incident during the game, which to me wasn't an incident, but to social media, it was a huge incident. And there was a female lineswoman at this game, and she gave a decision to Arsenal, and one of the City players didn't like that had happened and let her know what he thought, and then like tapped her on the shoulder as an apology. Now, I thought nothing of it while watching the game. Obviously, I know you're not supposed to touch an official during a match. It is a bookable offence, but it happens that often. I think it must happen at least 3 times a game in every game I've seen. That it doesn't really get penalised, but when I went on Twitter, it was a huge issue. All over Twitter, there was people saying that he should have been booked, he should have been sent off. People need to look into it, it's sexual harassment. But then I was thinking, would it be sexual harassment if it had happened to a male official? If Sergio Aguero had tapped the ref on the shoulder, would that have been sexual harassment? Would it have been uproar on Twitter? Now, that's what I want to discuss in a little bit more detail today. So I went on Twitter, and obviously should not have read the comments to the tweets I was looking at, but Piers Morgan tweeted this tweet above, which clearly states, having quoted the video, Piers Morgan says, what is Aguero doing here? And why wasn't he sent off for it? Now, to me, sending off is a little bit harsh. Maybe a yellow card, yeah, I could understand. I won't be too angry with that. But at the same time, if he'd have done it, he does it every week. Anyone who's on the line and he disagrees with, he'll say why he disagrees, he'll pat him on the shoulder, and that'll be that. Doesn't get booked every game, so I don't know. It's a difficult one, and I'm pretty sure that you guys watching this video are going to have a completely different opinion to me, maybe. But then I read the comments under Piers Morgan's tweet, and I only read the first 2, and that was enough for me, so I'm just going to read them to you. So the first one, Mr. Number 1 said, sent off, she shouldn't be anywhere near a football stadium. Never mind doing the line. Now, why shouldn't she be anywhere near a football stadium? Like, that is the most sexist comment I've seen in a while. It's like there's a rule that, should I be going to the football? Maybe after COVID? Is there anything wrong with me going to the football to support City, to watch City? I don't think so. So why is it an issue that she is literally doing her job? Just because she's a woman, she shouldn't be officiating a man's game? No. And then Mr. Number 2 replied to Mr. Number 1 and said, totally agree. What on earth is a woman doing on the football pitch where men are playing? We also have to put up with them as pundits. Makes me want to turn the telly off. Well, Mr. Number 2, please don't tune into another City game anytime soon. You're sincerely a passionate female football fan. Honestly, I just don't understand where these people come from, because what do they get out of this? What do they get out of being sexist online? They're literally typing behind a keyboard over a matter that had nothing actually to do with the lady in question. Ellis was literally just doing a job, and they're targeting her because she's a female working for males. They're not even targeting Aguero, which was the issue of the tweet. They're literally just targeting her. I just don't understand how that's come about or why that's come about, and that really, really annoyed me. So carrying on scrolling through Twitter, I saw this tweet off a lovely lady who I'm not sure who she is, but I really, really agreed with it. So Amy quoted the tweet of the video which said, "This isn't cool," and she tweeted, "I disagree, we want equality in sport, and he would have done this to a male linesman. That is fine. It's a sign of respect." Shirley? Now, I completely agree. To me, that would be a sign of respect. If I was in her shoes, I'd be quite happy with that. He's clearly treating me the way that he would treat male officials. That's fine by me. So I thought, well, because I'm a City fan and obviously I clearly don't see an issue with this, I think people have just blown it out of proportion. I wanted to get some views off people who don't necessarily support City. So the first thing I did was send it to Naomi. Now, we all know Naomi. She is one of the owners of the Grad Bible. And we've been talking sport for a while, me and Naomi, and I know she's just as much of a sport enthusiast as me. So I thought, well, I'll ask Naomi for her opinion. So when I put it to Naomi, I gave her a bit of information on it. I couldn't send her the video, but she looked it up herself, and her reply was, "Oh my God, yes, right. So to non-football fans, man touches a woman, why? But to people who know football, it's really more of a case of, if there is a punishment, it's because he touched an official and you're not meant to. It has nothing to do with her gender. And if people are going to go out of their way to avoid worrying about whether something is inappropriate or not, you're not giving females in sport a fair chance. Because again, albeit well-intentioned, it's just one rule for men and another for women." Although she's clearly laughing in the video, so I would say it's a jest between workers at most. I completely agree. If you're gonna look into everything in that much detail and try and find something wrong with it, then women are never gonna get a fair chance in sport. If this was a male linesman, this would not be in the news. This would not be as big of an issue as it is. It would not have had a segment on Match of the Day. It would not have people quoting this tweet constantly and giving their own opinions on how this is sexual harassment. It's not. It is literally what happens week in, week out in the football. Just because she's a female, it's being brought to light, but I just don't think it's right. So I put this question poll on my personal Instagram where I have quite a lot of football fans, and I wanted to get their opinions. So quite a few of my friends replied. So I'm going to read out what they said about the matter as well, just because it's going to give you different views. It's not just going to give you my view. So the first reply came off one of my friends, Anna, and I know that she'll be watching this video. And Anna said, "I do feel like this is open to massive interpretation. We don't know what his intentions were. I am a big fat feminist, and to be honest, I don't really know how to take this picture. There needs to be more context, etc. So I'm on the fence, and I'm appreciating people's differing views about it." So this is what I shared on my social media here. This was it. Obviously they just got the picture, so the picture could speak 1,000 words and could be the difference in all of these replies. And obviously Anna needs a little bit more help in her opinion. Obviously, if she saw the full video, her opinion would be clear and we'd get it. So if you guys have an opinion, definitely make sure you comment below, because Anna will be checking out this video, so she'll be able to see your comments, and I'll be able to share what her opinion is in next week's video. But as well as Anna, we did get some more reviews. So Catherine says, "Very controversial on social media. I personally think it's fine. She knows what the job entails," which is true. She applied for that job knowing exactly what she was going to be up against. She'll have dealt with female and male players from lower leagues before she managed to reach the Premier League, and because she's been really good, she'll have reached the Premier League. I mean, I had no issues with her against Arsenal. I thought every decision she made was fine, every decision she made was right, and she's been better than half the officials this season so far. So the fact that there's been ridiculous uproar about a little moment in a match that would not have been an uproar if it was a male official, I think is daft. And if that's people trying to get her to not be working in the Premier League for much longer, that's not going to happen. All it's doing is jeopardising young girls from wanting to be in sport. We should be encouraging people, young girls, to chase the dreams. If they want to be a footballer, play football, be a footballer. If they want to be a referee, go be a referee. It shouldn't have to stop at the Women's Super League, or it shouldn't have to stop at lower league male games. They should be treated with respect and be allowed to work in the higher games, in the bigger paid games, in the televised games, because they're good enough. Not just because they're male, not just because they're female, but because they're good enough. Then Georgia replied saying, I feel like the position of his hand is quite powering. Like if it was on her shoulder, it'd almost look more supportive. But because it's closer to her neck, her body language, she looks a little bit frozen. I don't know, maybe he didn't mean for it to be like that, but it definitely seems patronising. So from the picture, Georgia's more on the patronising side of the fence. She believes that it does look like it could be a little bit more than it's meaning to be, but without seeing the whole video, she couldn't really comment. And that's fine, like everyone's going to have different views. That's the whole point of this debate. And then Lewis replied, if you have a problem, you view her as a woman, not as an official. Happens to males officials all the time. And that is very true. If you are having an issue with that, then you probably are viewing it as just because she's female, not because she's an official. In reality, all the officials should be treated equally. So I did want a little bit of a professional view as well. So I managed to find what Pep said on the issue. So Pep was asked about the issue and he said, come on guys, Sergio is the nicest person I ever met in my life. Look for problems in other situations, not in this one. Now, I mean, this was the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, and before that, there was a horror tackle in the Liverpool-Everton derby. And Jordan Pickford made quite a bad tackle on Virgil van Dijk, and Van Dijk is now out for the foreseeable future with a knee injury. It is a long-term injury as well. We've seen City players go through it. It's not a nice injury to have, and he needs surgery on his knee. And Pickford received no penalisation for it. VAR didn't see it as an issue, and like the game carried on, nothing went wrong. It has later been reviewed and they're still saying it's not a dangerous tackle, like he's going to receive no suspension for it. And I feel like that was more newsworthy than the whole Aguero thing, and that was literally in the news until the Aguero incident happened, and then Aguero seemed to take over the timeline. And I don't understand how that can happen. Like, you've had like a serious injury and that's not taken the spotlight. Instead, you're trying to say that Aguero has inappropriately touched a lineswoman, but that wouldn't be in the news if we'd have had a linesman playing. And it just baffled me. And I really want to know what you guys think. I want you guys to join the little debate that we're having. So if you guys believe that it was an issue, then comment below. Tell me why you think it is an issue. Try and change my mind. And if you don't think it's an issue, and you think it's been blown out of proportion like myself, comment below, let me know why. Maybe tell other people why you think as well. And I'll make sure I reply to every single one of you. Because this is the kind of debate that I want us to be having over here on my channel. I want to be talking about the big issues like this, and I want to be able to see what your views are. But yeah, that's it from me today, guys. If you liked this video, let me know by liking the actual video, and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.